Hello and good morning. So we are going to start lying down with the block under the sacrum. All right. Ah, so let us make our way to our mat. Ah, and calm down, letting the weight of the body rest into the floor for a moment. Letting yourself connect through the floor with gravity helping you, connecting into the earth. Knowing how you are part of something bigger than yourself. Whole planet there supporting. And then let's come back into our self here, and putting the block under the legs. Lifting up like a little bridge pose, slide the block under the sacrum, sliding the legs out to straight. And maybe starting out a little more easeful. Inhaling up into the lower belly, exhale, pouring off the block. Maybe there's a little squinging and shifting. And as you're ready, getting a little bit more active, bringing the legs into parallel, right together, maybe hip distance apart. Reaching through the feet toward the opposite wall, pulling up through the abdominal muscles, through the hip bones, towards your head. You can also take the hands on the block near your waist if you want. Give a push there, lengthening out the lower back. Getting some traction down the front of the hip joints. And let's bend our right leg. So we'll pause with the right foot on the floor, pressing the right foot down into the floor, reaching a little longer through the left leg. And then hinging the right leg up. Try to keep that left leg straight and long. Maybe just hinging the leg up, or one or both hands up on the knee. Inhale and exhale, long line from the left heel to the right knee. And then setting the right leg down, sliding it back out next to the left. Bending the left leg, left foot into the floor while you reach a little longer and flatter through the right. And then hinging the left leg up. And you just hold the leg there on its own. One or both arms reaching up for the knee. And then really reaching on through the right leg, trying not to let the right leg bend and sort of buckle and collapse a little bit. And we'll set that left foot down, sliding it out to straight, taking a few more breaths here. Doing the push on the block again. And bending the knees, lifting up off the block, rolling down vertebrae by vertebrae, letting that weight sink back into the earth. Inhale and exhale, letting go of any tension that may have come into the face, the jaw, the neck, shoulders. And let's figure four, crossing the right leg over, reaching through the triangle, holding behind the left thigh, maybe across the left knee. Breathing into that right outer hip and gluteus max. And then switching legs, crossing the left leg over the right, reaching through the triangle, holding where you can on the right leg. Nice deep round breaths. And setting the legs down again. Let's stretch the legs out to straight, stretching the arms up overhead. A little stretching side to side, squeezing if you want. And making our way up to sitting. And sitting in Sukhasana with the crossed legs. Lengthening up, feeling a little more space between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. Whatever little additional shifting and squeezing you might want to do. And letting the hands rest on the knees. Inhale and exhale, pouring down the sides of the neck, long through the top of the head. And gently softening and closing your eyes, bringing your attention even more inside yourself. One more deep breath here. And slowly open the eyes and reaching out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. Breathing the arms up. And breathing the arms down. Let's do that twice more. And changing the cross of the legs. Let's breathe the arms up once more. We'll interlock the fingers, turn the palms up, give the elbows a pull, really grounding the shoulder blades into the upper back. And then pressing up, still trying to ground down some, still feeling that pull wide, even as we're drawing the upper arms in toward the ears. Lifting through the whole body out, face, hands. Reaching down through the sitting bones into the floor. And then we'll release the hands, bringing the arms down, coming forward and over, breathing across the back of the body. Now unfurling the spine vertebrae by vertebrae back up on top of the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. And let's come around onto all fours. Doing a couple cats and cows. Put some forward and back into it or whatever you want. And then finishing with that, let's extend our left leg back with the toes tucked under. Pressing back into the left heel, stretching down the back of the left. And then maybe picking the right leg up in the hover plank. So you don't have to pick it up really. You can just sort of lighten up on the right knee. Or maybe you can draw that thigh all the way up, making the left leg stretch a little longer and stronger. Setting the right knee down, and we'll switch legs, extending the right leg back, pressing back into the right heel, stretching down the back of the right. And then lightening up on the left knee so you can feel the right leg even more. And then maybe hover planking that left leg and then lighten up on the left knee, picking the left thigh up. And setting that left leg down, taking a pull back into child's pose, decompressing the wrists, maybe lifting up in the spider hand for a moment. And then we will expand up into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana, a little dog walking or anything else you want to do there. And we will finish with that dog walking, and here we are in the best downward facing dog of this moment. And thinking about the arms for a moment, those upper arms drawing toward each other. Reach out through the base of the hand, which is different than pressing weight into the hands. It's a reach through the base of the hands. And then also drawing up of the shoulder blades into the back. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. And sliding out onto our stomach into the space. Taking a pull back with the forearms. Tailbone to the floor, kind of like as if we were having the block on the sacrum here and stretching over the block. And then wide across the collarbones and upper back. Let's bend the right leg, reaching long through the toes, pulling that right foot in. It's up to you to put the intensity in this. Reach the toes and top of the head to the ceiling. Extend that right leg back. And then the left. Reach a little longer through the left leg, bending the leg, squeezing in and lifting up. And extending the left leg out again. Let's do that 2 more sets, not quite so lingeringly. Inhale and exhale, bending the leg in. Inhale and exhale, extending it out. And left. Drawing it in. Make sure your upper body doesn't start to collapse. And then right. And left. And another moment here, maybe you want to lift up the elbows if there's space. Don't force that though. Calming down, and let's make our way back up to downward facing dog. If you want to go smoothly through a vinyasa here, go ahead, or perhaps holding downward facing dog. You can also hold a plank. That's a good version of the vinyasa sometimes. And then in the next breath or two, we'll all be back in downward facing dog. Looking between the hands to jump or step forward. Into the concave back, halfway up. Folding over. Deep breath or two here. And coming up to standing, big front body yawn. And pressing the arms down, long through the top of the head. So we're going to do the stepping back to a lunge sequence where we lead with the right leg. So we end up with our left leg in front when we first step back, which is sometimes a little confusing to our brain. So we're thinking of the right side, the first side, as the right leg leading. The right leg steps back, the right leg is going to end up stepping forward. All right, meanwhile, taking a breath and let's circle the shoulders to interlock the fingers. Drawing the upper arms together, lifting up through the front of the chest to lift the chin. And coming forward and over, keeping those fingers interlocked. And still with the fingers interlocked, bending the knees into a sort of Utkatasana chair pose, but with a big arch, like a downhill skier. And then tipping yourself into the forward bend again. And releasing the hands. Stepping back with the right leg. So we're in the left lunge, bringing the right knee down. And Vinyasa. Inhaling up the front, exhale, pouring down the back. And a half circle around to Namaste in front. Namaste into the floor. Stepping back to the plank. Holding the plank or maybe through a vinyasa, any version. And downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up. And bending the knee dog at the high fire hydrants. Through to the lunge. So now we're in our right lunge, and we'll end Jayasana, kneeling lunge. Bringing the left knee down, coming up. Breathing those arms around in a half circle into Namaste. And stepping forward. Into the concave, back halfway up. Folding over, deep breath. Coming up to standing, big front body yawn. Pressing the arms down, long through the top of it. And then we'll lead with the left leg. Taking a circle with the shoulders to interlock the fingers behind. Lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. Coming forward. And then bending the knees into the skier, really trying to arch the back. And forward bend again. Release the hands. And we'll step back with the left leg. So we're in our right lunge again. Bringing the left knee down, coming up into Jayasana. Breathing those arms all the way around and back to Namaste. Stepping back to the plank, holding the plank or through a vinyasa, any version. And then downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up. And the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. Through to the lunge. And we'll bring the right knee down. And Jayasana. Breathing the arms around in a half circle to Namaste in front. And Namaste into the floor to step forward. Into the concave back. Folding over. Deep breath. And bending the knees, sitting down on the floor into Matsyendrasana, not what am I saying, into Baddha Konasana, the butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Holding on to those ankles long through the top of the head, coming forward. Pressing down and out with the elbows. And up. And let's slide those legs out. Konasana, the angle pose. And coming forward here. And no. And so here we are with both legs straight. So we're facing the front of the mat. I just shifted a little so you can see better. We're going to twist toward the right leg. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale and twist. Keep reaching long through the legs like you're standing on the feet, pressing the backs of the legs into the floor, standing on the backs of the legs into sitting bones. And then we'll put the left hand onto the left leg and take your right arm around into a half binding. Rolling that right shoulder out. And let's head over into our side bend with the half binding. You might not get as far as when you have the arm extended. Maybe you can get hold of those flexed toes. And then really feel that twisting up to the right toward the ceiling, lengthening through the top of the head. So there's a little more, even more than usual, lift up and away, trying to pull up than when we have our long extended arm over the ear. And coming up, we'll refresh in the legs and let's twist to the left. Inhale, lots of space. Exhale and twist. And right hand on the right leg, taking that left arm around in the half binding. Roll the shoulders out, really find your twisting to the left again. As we lift up and out through the top of the head over to the right. And really rolling that left shoulder out, trying to twist up to the ceiling. So especially if you've gotten hold of your foot there, you can pull up away from it. So rather than trying to pull down to it, make the stretch and the spaciousness be pulling up and away from the foot. And deep breath. Let's bring those legs in and come back up into our forward bend at the front of the mat. Ah, taking a few breaths here, riding back on your feet. Coming all the way up to standing, big front body. And around to namaste in front. Samasthiti steadiness. So we're going to do very similar to what we did with the stepping back, only this time we'll be stepping back and coming up in the warrior one, or you could use the high lunge if you would rather. All right, here we are, Samasthiti steadiness. And a big front body yawn. And diving. And let's come into the chair pose. Nice straight lines, really lifting up with the upper back. So if it's too much with your arms up by your ears, you can have the arms straight forward or out to the side. And really feeling those upper arms now. They're drawing in toward the ears. We're reaching out through the fingertips, grounding back through the shoulder blades. And releasing over. Stepping back with the right leg. So we have our left lunge. And coming up in the warrior one or the high lunge. And let's bring the arms around to the eagle pose arms. Left arm under. And then releasing the arms, stepping back to the plank, through the Vinyasa, whatever those words mean to you at this moment. And then there we are, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire hydrants. Through to the lunge. So now we're in the right lunge, coming up in the warrior number one, or the high lunge. And around to the eagle pose arms, right arm under. Releasing the arms, coming down, stepping forward. Into the concave back. Holding over. Breathe. And coming up to standing, big front body. Around to namaste. All right, and then leading with the left leg. Coming over, big front body yawn. And diving. Utkatasana, bending the knees, lifting up with the upper body. Strong upper arms, strong arms wherever they are, supported by that upper and middle back. Releasing over. And we'll step back with the left leg. So we're in the right lunge, coming up in your warrior one or high lunge. Eagle pose, arms, right arm under. And releasing the arms, stepping back to the plank through the Vinyasa, downward facing dog. And let's lift our left leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire hold. Through to the lunge. Warrior number one on the left. And around to the eagle pose, arms, left arm. And disentangle the arms coming down, stepping forward. Into the concave back. Folding over. Deep breath. And we'll bend the knees coming down. Sitting in Baddha Konasana, the bound angle pose at the front of the mat. Again, I'm just turning on the diagonal so see a little better, I think. And let's come forward, pressing down and out with the elbows. And and this time, let's go to Matsayandrasana, bringing the, whoops, going the wrong way, bringing the left leg down and the right leg across. Twisting to the right. And inhale lots of space, exhale and twist. Coming back to the center, and then we'll do the sitting figure four. Getting that left leg out, and the right leg stays crossed over, and leaning back on the hands, and lifting forward and up. Or maybe it's lifting up and back, however you think of it. And then we'll come forward and over, reaching through the triangle, holding on the left shin, or maybe behind the left leg, maybe even hands on the floor there. And then going up and over that right leg. Up, uncross the right leg, slide both legs out to straight for a moment, Dandasana, be a little forward. Rolling them back up to Baddha Konasana, short forward here. And then we'll go on the left with our Matsayandrasana figure four. So the right leg comes down with the knee pointing forward, left leg across. Twisting to the left for the top leg. Inhale and exhale. And back to the front. Figure four with the left leg crossed over. All right, bringing the hands on the diagonal behind, wherever they sort of work for your body. And then we'll lift up and over. Maybe it's up and back. It's both. And reaching through the triangle, holding on to your right leg, maybe hands on the floor, whatever works out. You want to lift up like you're getting a little taller to come up and over that left shin. And up. Let's slide the legs out straight. Take a moment here in Dandasana. Maybe coming a little forward. Oh, then we will come back up to our forward bend. Bringing the feet in, pulling back up onto the feet, and expanding into the standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Taking a few breaths, arriving back up here on our feet. And coming all the way up to standing, big front body yawn. And around to Namaste, Samastiti steadiness. Keep staying there. I'm just switching sides of the path here. All right. And let's come over. Big lift up. And diving over. Concave back halfway up, folding over. Jumping or stepping back through a vinyasa or not. Downward facing dog. And then really let yourself arrive here in downward facing dog, arriving in this moment. Coming down, sitting back in child's pose. And sliding out onto our stomach into the Sphinx. And coming down, let's walk the arms forward. We reach the hands out, but then pull the shoulders back into the upper back. And you want those arms shoulder distance apart, but still feeling a little squeeze in with the upper arms here, that deliberate length and drawing in, and then a little bit of widening out. All right, let's do our bending of one leg again. So here in this position, let's try to lift the right thigh off the floor as well. Lift the right leg up, bend the knee. So the right thigh might go down as the knee bends, that's fine. And then extending that right leg back out, reaching it down, left leg. Reaching long through the left leg, bending the knee. Reaching the left leg back out to straight and bringing it down. Let's go with the right again, and then we'll add on, lifting the right leg, bend the knee. Let's take that right hand back for the right ankle, and then get as square to the front as you can, and really try to lift up with the upper body and with that right leg. Bring the right leg down, and right arm comes forward again. Left leg, reaching long to lift the left leg, bend the knee. Reaching back for the ankle, and then lifting any amount. Bringing that left leg down, and left arm forward. And we're going to do that once more. This time we're going to add lifting the straight arm and leg that's on the floor as well, or maybe not. Bending the right leg, reaching back for the right ankle, and lengthen to lift, lifting all four limbs off the floor if you can, and then trying to breathe at the same time. Coming down, and we'll do the other side. Lengthening out, lifting the left leg up, reaching back for the ankle, and then lifting, and then breathing. Coming down. Ah, just pull the arms in so you can rest your forehead or chin on the hands for a couple breaths. And then we will peel ourselves back up to downward facing dog, maybe a few cats and cows along the way. So we'll be headed for the pigeon. For those who want to put in a little more upper body work, and it's actually core work as well, you can put some hover planks in before we land in our pigeon. That'll be our long road today, but you can also go right to the pigeon, or else 1, 2, or 3, or even more for that matter, hover planks before we land in the pigeon. All right, meanwhile, here we all are, downward facing dog. Just be here. All right, and now off we go, headed toward the future, lifting our right leg up. And bend the knee dog at the high fire hydrant. Maybe hover planking, maybe flying right to the pigeon. Inhale and exhale, knee forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale, knee forward. Inhale to lift. The breath helps a lot here in these hover planks. And then next time, knee to the right elbow into the pigeon. And I think I was talking about this on the weekend, so I always like to start in the high pigeon, as you probably know. But if it's going to help you get settled into the pigeon, go ahead and come into the forward bend, the sleeping pigeon, for a few breaths first. And then making your way up to the high pigeon with the cobra action. You can always use a block under your hands in front here as well. As we lift up and over, shoulders down. And coming forward into the sleeping pigeon. And up, and we'll go to the other side. Back up to downward facing dog. And let yourself just be there. No past, no future, nothing else needed for a breath or two. And then lifting the left leg. Dog at the high fire hydrant. And maybe putting hover planks in. Inhale and exhale. Move forward. Inhale to lift. Oh, I lost count. That might have been the third one. I don't know. Anyway, we'll all be in the pigeon in a moment. Knee to the left elbow to the wrist. Coming forward in that sleeping pigeon for a few breaths if you want. Maybe I'll make this the new default coming forward for a bit. And coming up into the high pigeon, into that cobra action, up and over. And coming forward. And coming up, and we will make our way to Shavasana. Down to the floor. Coming down and into the earth. Now we're trying to let go not only of that physical body, but also to our sense of self. So that can be very challenging. But we don't need to push it or force, though. We do what we can, letting that physical body rest into the floor. That's actually probably in Shavasana, and it's at the end of an asana practice here. That's actually probably the more important thing. The weight of the physical body, all those muscles softening, all that tension letting go, all that need to do things and be things. And letting our mind settle into the wave of the breath. And our breath just becomes one of the many little waves, the inhale, the exhale, expand and release. They're always happening across the whole planet. Ocean waves are the obvious thing like that, but there's all sorts of little expand and contract, ebb and flow going on. And breathing back into your body, into the room. Moving the fingers and toes, getting the circulation going. Stretching the arms up overhead. And bending knees. To gently make your way up to sitting. And sitting in any comfortable position with a long and spacious spine. Taking another moment, sitting quietly inside yourself. And namaste. Thank you for coming.